I need to show you guys how to begin farming Kuva. The main use of this resource is to reroll Rivens. That's going to be a different video. First thing that you need to have finished is the War Within quest. So to begin getting plenty of this stuff, you will need to take some time to make sure you are progressing the story. This is probably going to be pretty late in the Warframe walkthrough playlist, because realistically speaking, starting to deal with Rivens can be done as an end game optional task. They are not required to progress the game in any way, and so it's kind of something that I'll leave a little bit later. If you guys need a playlist or want a step-by-step route on how to get everything in Warframe, I'll leave a link for you in the pinned comment. Once the War Within quest is complete, we now have two new things that are available to us. The first one is that we have a new selection of missions. These are Kuva Flood missions. Not too difficult. There is one major difference with these, and that is that there is a harvester that is going to be in the mission, and all you need to do is find that harvester and shoot the cloud, complete the rest of the mission, and you'll be able to extract to get some Kuva. These are obviously not eternally farmable. Every hour or so these will reset, but this is important if you want to be doing the absolute fastest Kuva farming method, which I will save for the end of the video. We are going to want the Requiem relics as well as the Kuva that drops from these missions. The other place that we can now go to farm Kuva is going to be the Kuva Fortress. Yours may be in a different position to mine. As you can see right now, currently on my map, it's up in the northern area, but this does go around in circles. We have two missions here that we can use to gain Kuva. They are the Disruption and the Survival missions, respectively. I personally prefer the Survival mission, and so that is the one that I'm going to recommend. You're going to want to head on into Tavuni. As you can see, level 32 to 37. If you have been following the playlist, this should be absolutely no challenge to you whatsoever. It is effectively a standard survival mission with one difference. That is, once your life support comes in, you will also have an enemy marked with a red dot. Go and destroy that enemy, pick up the canister that it drops, drop that off at the life support node, and be careful at this point, don't activate the life support node, just go and walk near it, a little bit like when you deliver the canisters to an excavation. That will turn it red, and it'll now start siphoning off Kuva. Each one is worth around 200. Think the ones that come from the Queen's Guards drop 400. This is affected by boosters, so you can use booster to double that up 400. So this is your endless mission for what I'm going to call early-ish Kuva farming. So if you haven't done all of the nodes on the system yet, and you don't have any other methods, this is just a way for you to be able to eternally grab Kuva. There are also some stores in the game which we can purchase Kuva from, and I'm going to mention the ones that I think are the best. The first and most accessible, so if you just want a good boost of it, is going to be an Iron Wake, where you can come over to the NPC at the end of the area and purchase 35,000 for 10 Riven slivers. This is once per week. Realistically, you can't exactly do this all of the time, but if it's available, you might as well go ahead and take it. It's a nice little chunk you can get in a fairly short amount of time. Just in case you don't know, Riven slivers have a chance to drop from Eximus enemies. I'm not going to do a farming video on them because they don't have that many uses and they are very easy to get. The next place that we can go buy some then is in the Zariman. So we are progressing to later parts of the game now, and that is effectively how all of these suggestions are going to go. Fast travel your way to Archimedean Yonta, where you can go ahead and purchase Kuva here for the cost of 5 Void Plumes. Again, this is a weekly one, but that is 70k you can pick up. So if there's something that you want to craft or anything like this, it's a nice quick way to just get the Kuva that you need right now, and then you can craft whatever it is that you need nice and simply. Moving on to something that may seem a little less conventional to start with, but I promise it's all going to tie up nicely at the end. We also have the Steel Path and Arbitration stores. If you're early to this video and you don't know what those are, these will unlock once you have completed all of the nodes on the star chart. There are a lot of people that say all the nodes on the star chart plus this thing is connected to the star chart, so I shouldn't need to say anything other than all nodes connected to the star chart. That means that nodes such as Jordas Golem and Mutilated Salad V don't count because, as you can see, they are not connected to the star chart. I do believe that the Kuva Fortress is counted, so make sure that's done as well, and that will now give you access to the Arbitrations and to Steel Path. These are both effectively going to give you a resource that you can use in a store, and in those respective stores we can go ahead and purchase more Kuva. So if we come on over to a relay, we can visit Teshin to visit the Steel Path store. If you are already happy with your primary, secondary, arcane adapters, you can come here to purchase Kuva right here. This one is limited, as you can see, to 25 per week, but that is 250,000 that you can get from the steel essence, which you're probably going to farm up anyway because you're going to want the steel path arcanes. And the next place we can go to is the arbitration store. You guys should already know what this is, but basically if we're coming over to this, I don't know what that symbol is even called. If we're coming over to this place, we can come to the arbitration store, where as you can see, we can actually unlimitedly buy Kuva for 10,000 a pop here if we just keep on doing arbitrations, which is actually good for endo as well, which means arbitrations are even more profitable than I at first thought, because that means you can be farming endo, arbitration goodies, and Kuva all at the same time, which is fantastic. So those are all of the individual methods, which means that the absolute 100% fastest way is to combine as many of these methods as possible. The way that we can do this is if there is a Requiem fissure in the steel path version of the Kuva Survivor. This is because you will get the rewards from the Kuva Survivor itself. You will also get additional steel essence because you are in a fissure mission. If you're in a fissure mission, for each round you get an additional steel essence. And because you are in a Requiem mission, you also have Kuva as a part of your drop pool each time you finish one of the rounds.